Thank you very much for being here this afternoon. Our goal on tax reform last year were many. One was to spur economic growth. We did that. Last couple of quarters, we were significantly higher than we saw in the last decade. Restore American competitiveness, moving from 35% to 21%, provides our companies with a greater opportunity to succeed in a global economy. Create jobs. Since the passage of the Tax Reform Act, we've seen over 600,000 jobs created. Put upward pressure on wages. We've also seen wages increase. However, one of the criticisms of the benefits for pass-through businesses like yours, Mr. Cranston, is that it's hard to quantify the tangible benefits that you're receiving. Is it truly hard to quantify the benefits, or is it simply a straightforward process for an S corporation like yours?
I found it to be a fairly straight.
I don't think your mic is on.
Thank you.
I found it to be a straightforward process. Most business owners are astute individuals. We buy and sell things. We mark them up. We discount them. And so when I learned that the Section 199A was going to allow me to deduct 20% of the income that flows to me on my K-1, it was very easy for me to look back at the K-1 that I've just received in the last 60 days and say, okay, if I take off 20% of that income and I know my approximate marginal tax break, I can very quickly ascertain what my tax savings are going to be, i.e. how much money I can retain in my business and invest in my business this year.
Excellent. One of the parts of the tax cuts bill that everyone seemed to celebrate was the doubling of the child tax credit from $1,000 to $2,000 and making more of the child tax credit refundable up to $1,400. Have you, Mr. Cranston, benefited from that?
Yes, I will benefit from that, as I still have a teenager at home, and I'm looking forward to taking that increased deduction.
Excellent. Another part that was a bipartisan coalition of senators, from Senator Coons to Senator Booker to myself, all supportive of the Investing in Opportunity Act, which was a part of the tax package that provided opportunity zones to be created to attract more private sector capital back into some of the distressed communities. More than 50 million Americans live in distressed communities throughout the country. Using the new market tax credit as the definition of distressed communities, we were able to figure out where to target the resources for further development in distressed communities. In other words, provide a deferral of your capital gains tax up to 10 years if you will make a long-term investment in some of these distressed communities as a way to spur economic activity and hopefully create jobs and opportunities in these communities. Dr. Holtz-Seeken, would you talk about the benefits that could happen as we bring more capital back into some of the distressed communities throughout this country, and how that could provide more parity for folks who are desperately looking for hope?
Well, Senator, I think that's a really important provision. One of the striking features of the recovery was not just the fact that it was so slow by historic standards, but it was so uneven geographically. And indeed, over longer periods, we've seen sort of social mobility in the U.S. stay roughly the same on average as it was 50 years ago, but sharp differences across geography and access to that social mobility. So again, when you've got problems, no single policy is a magic solution, but you need to point all the policy levers in the direction of solving those problems, and this is an important provision to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you,